Good morning, Broyles County Rickerford. This is Mary. How may I help you?
And I'm an attorney with Broyles, Kite & Rickerford. Myself and two other partners, Megan Kite and Nissa Rickerford, we founded the law firm in 2002 after being with a larger law firm here in Indianapolis for a number of years. We practice primarily in the areas of immigration and family law, so our practices are fairly focused. Megan and myself are the two attorneys that handle primarily the immigration cases, representing everything from universities to businesses who are wanting to recruit foreign national employees, to families going through transition and wanting to immigrate or relocate to the United States. When we started to look around at what our options for a phone system were, we had a few basic requirements. Because we were a firm with these two different practice areas, one of the things that we were looking for was a way to really control and route calls. On the immigration side, we wanted to route calls based upon, one, they wanted to speak to somebody about immigration assistance, but two, that they were looking to speak with someone in their language. So we wanted a system that we could route calls based upon the caller's incoming language. And make sure that when somebody picked up the phone and it was a Spanish speaker, they knew to answer the phone, "Hola, Broyles County Rickerford," so that they knew that they were immediately going to reach somebody in their language. That was really important to us when we first looked at systems. Well, we looked at a number of systems when we were trying to decide what system to settle on. Ultimately, that was through CPI and the interactive intelligence system. I think where it came down to was the simplicity. One, it was a one-box solution that could be implemented and maintained in-house. I think too many of the other systems had multiple layers of complexity, oftentimes required proprietary hardware. The fact that we could run the system off of a Windows NT environment was extremely compelling to us because it was something that we were experienced with and that we knew that we could manage in-house. I had been with other law firms, and the idea of moving an extension or a new attorney or a new employee starting and having to create an extension was a call to an outside provider to come in and do that. With the i3 system, things were plug and play. Somebody with limited telephony knowledge could manage this system, and it gave us the flexibility that we needed as a small and growing business to be able to save cost and do those things in-house. With any professional services organization, as we go into the future, I realized very quickly that we are going to make our money and bill our time only when we're interacting, communicating with clients. Those interactions now are being focused into the computer. I tell employees here every day, for the next 30 years, I can probably guarantee one thing, that in your professional work life, you're going to have some form of computer on your desk that you're going to have to interact. Bringing the phone and merging it with the computer just seemed logical. It seemed like a logical progression, and the tools that Interactive Intelligence were offering to make that merger complete were just unbelievable. It gave us unbelievable control over that communication device. We have presence management. We now have the ability to give information to callers as they call in so that they have a better idea, because one of the biggest complaints with attorneys is that we're so hard to get a hold of. Well, now we can use our phone system to better communicate with clients so that they know when is better times. We have the Find Me, Follow Me features. Oftentimes, I may be walking down the hallway and I'll miss a call in my office, but with Find Me, Follow Me, it can find me. I mean, and so it's really gave us tools that we never before had to control that communication device. In addition, we were very aggressive in adding reporting capabilities to our product. If you look at the old way that many attorneys record time, is they keep a timesheet next to their phone or on their desk, and they try to write down things as they go through the day. And I think any attorney will admit to you that that is an imperfect system, and that time is lost. And they're oftentimes at the end of the day trying to sit there and recreate their day and find out where some of that lost time went. Well, with systems like interactive intelligence, you can simply pull the report and look at it, and you're going to capture it to a large extent where your day went. Because, you know, for professionals, we're on the phone constantly, and you know that is you know, it was important to us to get control of that communication device. When you look at what that could mean, if you're an attorney that bills at $200, $250 an hour in 6-minute increments, you can easily start to do the math. If you can capture 15 minutes a day, that amount of captured time over a year can add up into the thousands and thousands of dollars. You multiply that by any number of professionals that you have in your office, and you can quickly see that it becomes an enormous value to the business. We were a fairly early adopter of i3. It was in 2004, I think, that we first implemented i3, and then we have now gone through the upgrades, and we're at 3.0. I can tell you that we are even more impressed with the system than we were on the first day that we got it. It's more feature-rich. One of the things that we've seen, and this is something that happened in our office, we had some bad snow days this past winter, and on one of those, I was expecting no one to come into the office. So from my home in my kitchen, I was able to log in and control or perform the receptionist function for the firm during the snow day. Well, the phone calls started rolling in. They were primarily from employees. And the joke became one person would call and I would answer, and then they would hang up and call another employee and say, "Oh my gosh, John is there. He's answering the phone." Well, little did few people know, I was standing in my kitchen cooking breakfast. I had no intention to try to shovel the 12 inches of snow on my driveway to try to get into the office. But because of the remote capabilities of i3, I could seamlessly transfer that call answering function to my home and do the things that normally needed to be done without having to risk life and limb or break my back trying to get into the office. CPI has been a phenomenal partner. I mean, I will be honest with you, when we first implemented the i3 system, we were on the very much cutting edge. Voice over IP was just being talked about as a viable communication platform going into the future. We did have some rough spots that we had to work out. We were trying to initially, when we implemented the system, we weren't even going to have phones in the office. Everybody was going to interact with the system just through headsets. Well, that was a little too early adoption for that technology. It's now possible in the i3 system, but at the time there were some problems with it. You got some echo and voice quality issues. CPI stood through us thick and thin. They worked with us in the i3 to resolve our problems and to really make sure that the system worked for us. So we have been extremely grateful, and we feel fortunate in the relationship that we've had with CPI and the relationship that they've brought us to with i3.